And, a lot of people think like ancient Egyptians and Cleopatra, right? Kind of that, that's the exciting part of this. But what do you wish people knew more about with the ancient Nubians, which you are really focused on right now?
So for most of ancient Nubia's past, we don't have written records. So what we know about ancient Nubia primarily came from Egyptian texts, which were understandably biased. They were enemies for a lot of their history. And so what we're able to do through bioarchaeology is to write that record that was not there before. So for instance, the site of Tombos is an Egyptian colonial site. So that site was created by Egyptians during the time that they were occupying Nubia. And this period and then the period after has often been referred to as the Dark Ages because we didn't know exactly what happened. The research that we've been doing at Tombos has provided a way for us to understand that Nubians were actually still very strong. They were asserting their identities. Their culture was not subsumed by Egypt. And after the Egyptians left, after their empire fell apart, the Nubians persisted, they were resilient, and eventually they went on to rule the entire Nile Valley. So there were active leaders in the Near East and the circum-Mediterranean world and ruled from central Sudan all the way to the Mediterranean. So it was really an amazing culture, an amazing society that I feel like not everybody learns about.
Sure. What is the most kind of aha moment you might have had at this site or most exciting part of your research so far, would you say?
It's definitely related to those sorts of discoveries about what the Nubians were doing when the Egyptians had occupied their land. We sort of expected that everybody would take on these Egyptian cultural features and go along with the Egyptians, but that's not true. They were asserting their independence, their identities, and showing that their Nubian culture, their Nubian identity was there all along and never disappeared.
What do you think would happen if you weren't doing this research?
So anthropology is a field that not that many people know about, and we have worked hard to introduce it to the public, to introduce it to younger kids by visiting their schools, by going to community events like Boo at the Zoo and other sorts of things to try to introduce anthropology to people. When I went to undergraduate, I was interested in history. I was also interested in health. My father is a retired physician, and I was also interested in different cultures. My father is an immigrant from the Philippines, and so going to school, I didn't realize that that was something that I could all do together. And when I took my first anthropology class, it was sort of an aha moment of learning that I can combine all of these interests into something that I could pursue a career in. And I'm fortunate at Purdue that we do have colleagues in these different areas where we combine culture and religion and philosophy as well as society and different aspects of human life to create the best solutions for our problems today. So in anthropology, we are working in our teaching, in our research, and our engagement with different partners across campus in engineering and technology and health and many other areas to show people as a public university with a service mission, as a land-grant university, that understanding humans in a holistic way is the best way to address our challenges.